What if I told you that the secret to living past 100 is not locked inside a laboratory, not hidden in a rare supplement, and not reserved for the wealthy or genetically blessed? Imagine a 96-year-old Nobel Prize winner, sharp mind, clear voice, steady hands, still reading, still thinking, still contributing to the world, not surviving, thriving. The question is not just how long they lived, but how well. What are they eating? What do they know that most of us ignore? And more importantly, can we apply it starting today? Here's the truth. Longevity is not an accident. It is biology in action. Every single bite of food you take sends instructions to your cells. Your breakfast speaks to your blood vessels. Your lunch talks to your immune system. Your dinner whispers to your DNA. Right now, inside your body, trillions of cells are listening to what you feed them. And here's what makes this powerful. Your body already knows how to defend itself, repair itself, and even regenerate. The real question is, are you activating those systems, or are you unknowingly shutting them down? In this talk, we are going to uncover the science behind long life, not myths, not trends, not extreme diets, but real biological mechanisms that determine whether you simply age or age powerfully. You'll discover how certain everyday foods can strengthen your blood vessels, calm inflammation, fuel your microbiome, and protect your brain. You'll learn why consistency beats intensity, why sleep is as powerful as nutrition, and why small daily habits matter more than dramatic short-term changes. And somewhere in this journey, you may realize something extraordinary. The path to 100 plus years of vibrant life is not about doing more. It's about doing the right things repeatedly. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear could change the way you look at your next meal and possibly the rest of your life. Food as medicine is not a metaphor. It is a biological reality grounded in modern science. Every time you eat, you are not simply consuming calories for energy. You are delivering biochemical signals that influence how your cells behave. Nutrients interact directly with your genes, proteins, hormones, and immune cells. This means food can either strengthen your internal defense systems or gradually weaken them. Inside your body are built-in protection mechanisms designed to fight disease long before symptoms appear. These systems regulate inflammation, repair damaged tissues, support immune surveillance, and maintain healthy blood flow. Certain foods activate these systems naturally. For example, colorful fruits and vegetables contain polyphenols and antioxidants that reduce oxidative stress, a key driver of aging and chronic illness. Leafy greens provide nitrates that support blood vessel flexibility and circulation. Nuts and seeds supply healthy fats that stabilize cell membranes and reduce inflammatory responses. One of the most powerful effects of food as medicine is its impact on inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is linked to heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, and even cancer. Processed foods high in refined sugars and unhealthy fats can overstimulate inflammatory pathways. In contrast, whole plant foods, fatty fish, rich in omega-3s, and spices like turmeric contain compounds that calm these pathways at the molecular level. They influence cytokines and other signaling molecules that determine whether the body stays in a state of balance or distress. Food also shapes the microbiome, the vast community of trillions of bacteria living in your gut. These microbes produce vitamins, regulate immunity, and even communicate with your brain. Fiber from vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains feeds beneficial bacteria, allowing them to produce short-chain fatty acids that strengthen the gut lining and reduce systemic inflammation. When your microbiome thrives, your immune defenses become more precise and efficient. Another critical dimension is gene expression. Nutrients can turn certain genes on or off through processes known as epigenetic modifications. Compounds found in broccoli, green tea, berries, and garlic can activate protective genes involved in detoxification and cellular repair. This means your daily meals can influence how your DNA functions without changing the DNA itself. Food as medicine does not replace emergency medical care, but it forms the foundation of long-term resilience. It works quietly and cumulatively, shaping your internal environment day after day. Over time, these small nutritional signals determine whether your body ages with strength or vulnerability. Food synergy refers to the powerful interaction that occurs when different nutrients and bioactive compounds work together inside the body, producing effects greater than any single component alone. It challenges the reductionist idea that health can be achieved by isolating one vitamin, one antioxidant, or one superfood. Instead, it recognizes that whole foods contain complex networks of chemicals that cooperate biologically, amplifying their protective benefits. For example, a tomato does not just provide vitamin C. It contains lycopene, beta-carotene, flavonoids, fiber, and numerous phytonutrients. When consumed as part of a balanced meal that includes healthy fats like olive oil, the absorption of fat-soluble compounds such as lycopene significantly increases. The oil enhances bioavailability, allowing these antioxidants to circulate more effectively in the bloodstream. The combined effect on reducing oxidative stress and supporting cardiovascular health is stronger than taking isolated lycopene supplements. Another example is the relationship between fiber and polyphenols in fruits and vegetables. Fiber feeds beneficial gut bacteria, while polyphenols modulate microbial diversity and reduce inflammation. Together, they shape a healthier microbiome environment. The bacteria then convert fiber into short-chain fatty acids, compounds that strengthen the intestinal lining and regulate immune responses. This chain reaction demonstrates how nutrients interact not only with human cells but also with microbial ecosystems. Even combinations across food groups show synergy. Vitamin C from citrus fruits enhances the absorption of plant-based iron from leafy greens and legumes. Turmeric's active compound, curcumin, becomes more bioavailable when paired with black pepper, which contains piperine that slows its metabolic breakdown. These interactions reveal that traditional culinary practices often evolve to maximize biological efficiency without scientific terminology. Food synergy emphasizes diversity on the plate. A colorful assortment of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and healthy fats creates overlapping protective pathways in the body. Instead of focusing on one miracle ingredient, it is the orchestration of multiple compounds working simultaneously that strengthens cellular defense systems and supports long-term resilience. Angiogenesis is the biological process through which the body forms new blood vessels from existing ones. This system is essential for life because every cell in the body depends on oxygen and nutrients delivered through blood circulation. Healthy angiogenesis allows tissues to repair after injury, supports muscle growth during exercise, and maintains organ function over time. Without proper blood vessel growth and maintenance, healing slows and organs gradually lose efficiency. However, angiogenesis must remain balanced. Too little blood vessel growth can contribute to conditions such as heart disease, slow wound healing, and nerve damage. Too much uncontrolled angiogenesis can feed diseases like cancer, where tumors stimulate the formation of new blood vessels to supply themselves with oxygen and nutrients. The body constantly regulates this process using natural inhibitors and stimulators, maintaining equilibrium. Diet plays a powerful role in supporting healthy angiogenesis. Certain plant-based foods contain bioactive compounds that help stabilize blood vessel growth. Berries, for example, provide anthocyanins that protect the inner lining of blood vessels, known as the endothelium. Green tea contains catechins that help regulate abnormal vessel formation. Tomatoes offer lycopene, which supports vascular health and reduces oxidative stress. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli contain sulforaphane, a compound that influences angiogenic signaling pathways. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish, flax seeds, and walnuts also support vascular flexibility and reduce inflammation within blood vessel walls. Chronic inflammation can damage the endothelium, impairing circulation and increasing the risk of plaque buildup. By reducing inflammatory signals, these nutrients help maintain smooth blood flow and stable vessel growth. Physical activity further enhances healthy angiogenesis by stimulating circulation and encouraging the growth of efficient capillary networks in muscles and the heart. When combined with a nutrient-dense diet, this creates a strong vascular foundation that supports longevity. Healthy angiogenesis is not about increasing or decreasing blood vessels indiscriminately, but about maintaining precise biological control. Food influences the molecular signals that determine whether blood vessels grow appropriately or abnormally, directly affecting cardiovascular health, tissue repair, and long-term resilience. Reducing chronic inflammation through diet is one of the most powerful strategies for protecting long-term health and extending lifespan. Inflammation itself is not harmful, it is a natural defense mechanism. When you get injured or infected, your immune system triggers inflammation to fight pathogens and begin healing. This acute response is temporary and beneficial. The problem arises when inflammation becomes chronic, low-grade, and persistent, silently damaging tissues over years. Chronic inflammation is strongly associated with many age-related diseases, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, Alzheimer's disease, and certain cancers. It often develops due to a combination of poor diet, excess body fat, physical inactivity, chronic stress, and environmental toxins. Highly processed foods rich in refined sugars, trans fats, and artificial additives can overstimulate immune pathways, causing the body to remain in a prolonged inflammatory state. Dietary choices directly influence inflammatory markers in the bloodstream. Whole plant foods such as vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains contain antioxidants and phytonutrients that neutralize free radicals, unstable molecules that trigger cellular damage. Berries, leafy greens, and colorful vegetables are particularly rich in these protective compounds. Healthy fats also play a critical role. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish, walnuts, and flax seeds help counterbalance omega-6 fatty acids, which in excess may promote inflammation. Spices and herbs contribute as well. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound shown to inhibit inflammatory signaling pathways. Ginger, garlic, and cinnamon have similar modulatory effects. Fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, and kimchi improve gut microbiome diversity, which in turn regulates immune responses and reduces inflammatory signals originating in the digestive tract. Blood sugar stability is another key factor. Diets high in refined carbohydrates cause repeated spikes in glucose and insulin, which can activate inflammatory processes. Choosing fiber-rich carbohydrates slows digestion and promotes metabolic balance. Through consistent dietary patterns that emphasize whole, minimally processed foods, the body's inflammatory response becomes better regulated, reducing long-term tissue damage and supporting healthier aging. Strengthening the immune system naturally involves supporting the body's complex defense network through consistent lifestyle and dietary choices, rather than relying solely on medications or supplements. The immune system is made up of specialized cells, tissues, and organs that identify and neutralize harmful pathogens such as viruses, bacteria, and abnormal cells. For it to function efficiently, it requires adequate nutrients, balanced inflammation, and a healthy internal environment. Nutrition plays a central role in immune resilience. Vitamins and minerals act as essential cofactors in immune cell production and activity. Vitamin C supports white blood cell function and acts as an antioxidant to protect immune cells from damage during infection. Zinc is crucial for the development and communication of immune cells, while vitamin D regulates immune responses and prevents overreaction that can damage healthy tissue. These nutrients are best obtained through whole foods such as citrus fruits, leafy greens, seeds, nuts, legumes, and moderate sun exposure in the case of vitamin D. Protein intake is also vital because antibodies, enzymes, and signaling molecules are built from amino acids. Inadequate protein can weaken immune defenses and slow recovery. Including beans, lentils, eggs, fish, and nuts helps maintain optimal immune strength. Healthy fats, particularly omega-3 fatty acids, regulate inflammation and prevent excessive immune activation that can lead to chronic disease. The gut microbiome significantly influences immunity because nearly 70% of immune cells reside in the digestive tract. Fiber-rich foods such as vegetables, fruits, and whole grains nourish beneficial bacteria, which in turn produce compounds that enhance immune signaling and strengthen the intestinal barrier. Fermented foods introduce helpful microbes that further diversify gut flora. Sleep, stress management, and regular physical activity complement nutritional strategies by reducing stress hormones that suppress immune function. When the body receives adequate nutrients and balanced lifestyle support, immune responses become more efficient, targeted, and adaptive, providing stronger protection against infections and long-term illness. Protecting DNA and slowing cellular aging is a central pillar of longevity because DNA carries the instructions that govern how every cell in the body functions. Over time, DNA is constantly exposed to internal and external stressors, such as oxidative stress, environmental toxins, ultraviolet radiation, poor diet, and chronic inflammation. These stressors can cause mutations, strand breaks, and epigenetic alterations that disrupt normal cellular processes. While the body has sophisticated repair mechanisms, cumulative damage over decades contributes to aging and increases the risk of chronic disease. One of the primary drivers of DNA damage is oxidative stress. During normal metabolism, cells produce reactive oxygen species, unstable molecules that can harm proteins, lipids, and genetic material. When antioxidant defenses are insufficient, oxidative stress accelerates cellular wear and tear. Diets rich in antioxidant-containing foods help neutralize these reactive molecules before they damage DNA. Colorful fruits and vegetables such as berries, spinach, carrots, and red cabbage contain vitamins C and E, carotenoids, and polyphenols that act as protective shields at the molecular level. Another important factor in cellular aging involves telomeres, protective caps at the ends of chromosomes. Each time a cell divides, telomeres gradually shorten. Excess inflammation, chronic stress, and poor nutrition can accelerate this shortening process. Certain nutrients and lifestyle habits are associated with slower telomere attrition. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish and flax seeds, reduce inflammatory stress that contributes to telomere erosion. Folate and other B vitamins from leafy greens and legumes support proper DNA replication and repair. Epigenetics also plays a role in how DNA behaves without altering the genetic code itself. Compounds in cruciferous vegetables, green tea, garlic, and turmeric influence gene expression by modifying chemical tags attached to DNA. These changes can activate protective genes involved in detoxification and cellular repair, while silencing genes linked to inflammation and uncontrolled growth. Caloric balance and metabolic health further impact DNA stability. Persistent high blood sugar can lead to glycation, a process that damages proteins and genetic material. Choosing fiber-rich carbohydrates helps regulate glucose levels and reduce this stress. Through consistent intake of nutrient-dense whole foods and balanced lifestyle practices, the body's natural DNA repair systems remain more efficient, supporting cellular integrity and healthier aging trajectories. Supporting gut microbiome diversity is one of the most influential factors in long-term health because the human body is not just made of human cells. It hosts trillions of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and other microbes, primarily residing in the digestive tract. Collectively, this ecosystem is known as the microbiome. These microbes are not passive passengers. They actively participate in digestion, immune regulation, hormone balance, metabolism, and even brain function. A diverse microbiome, meaning a wide variety of beneficial microbial species, is strongly associated with resilience against disease and healthier aging. When microbiome diversity is high, different bacterial species perform specialized roles. Some break down dietary fiber into short-chain fatty acids, such as butyrate, which nourishes intestinal cells and reduces inflammation. Others synthesize vitamins like vitamin K and certain B vitamins. Some help regulate immune cells so that the body responds effectively to threats without overreacting. A lack of diversity, often caused by highly processed diets, excessive antibiotics, chronic stress, and low fiber intake, can lead to imbalance known as dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is linked to obesity, diabetes, autoimmune conditions, allergies, and mood disorders. Diet is the primary driver of microbiome composition. Fiber-rich foods such as vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, seeds, and whole grains act as prebiotics, providing fuel for beneficial bacteria. Different types of fiber feed different species, which is why dietary variety is essential. Eating the same limited foods repeatedly may nourish only a narrow group of microbes, while a wide range of plant foods encourages broader microbial diversity. Fermented foods also play a supportive role. Yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, and other naturally fermented products contain live microorganisms that can enhance microbial balance. These foods introduce beneficial strains that may temporarily colonize the gut and interact with existing microbes to strengthen ecosystem stability. Polyphenols found in berries, green tea, cocoa, and colorful vegetables further promote microbial diversity by selectively encouraging the growth of beneficial bacteria. In turn, these bacteria metabolize polyphenols into compounds that reduce inflammation and support cardiovascular health. Sleep, physical activity, and stress reduction also influence microbial balance through hormonal and immune pathways. A diverse microbiome strengthens the gut barrier, preventing harmful substances from entering the bloodstream and triggering systemic inflammation. Over time, nurturing this internal ecosystem through varied, plant-rich nutrition and balanced living supports metabolic efficiency, immune precision, and cognitive health. The power of plant-based bioactive compounds lies in their ability to influence biological processes at a molecular level without functioning as traditional nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, or fats. Bioactive compounds are naturally occurring chemicals found in plants that help them defend against pests, UV radiation, and environmental stress. When humans consume these plants, those same protective compounds interact with cellular pathways that regulate inflammation, detoxification, immunity, and aging. Unlike vitamins and minerals that prevent deficiency diseases, bioactive compounds optimize health by enhancing the body's internal defense systems. Polyphenols, flavonoids, carotenoids, glucosinolates, and phytosterols are examples of these powerful molecules. They are abundant in colorful fruits, vegetables, legumes, herbs, spices, nuts, seeds, tea, and whole grains. Their concentration often determines the intensity of a plant's color, aroma, or bitterness, which is why deeply pigmented foods frequently offer stronger protective effects. Polyphenols found in berries, green tea, cocoa, and olive oil act as antioxidants, neutralizing free radicals that damage cells and DNA. Flavonoids support blood vessel health by improving endothelial function and reducing oxidative stress. Carotenoids such as beta-carotene and lycopene accumulate in tissues and protect against cellular damage caused by light and oxygen exposure. Glucosinolates in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cabbage are converted into compounds that activate detoxification enzymes, helping the body eliminate potential carcinogens. Bioactive compounds also influence gene expression through epigenetic mechanisms. They can activate protective genes responsible for repairing DNA and regulating cell growth, while suppressing genes linked to chronic inflammation and abnormal cell proliferation. This selective modulation helps maintain cellular balance and reduces the risk of age-related diseases. enzymes. Another key effect is their interaction with the gut microbiome. Many bioactive compounds are metabolized by gut bacteria into secondary metabolites that enhance anti-inflammatory and antioxidant activity. This creates a beneficial cycle where plant compounds support microbial diversity and microbes enhance the compound's effectiveness. Regular consumption of a wide variety of plant-based foods ensures exposure to a broad spectrum of bioactive compounds. Their combined and overlapping actions strengthen cellular resilience, improve metabolic function, and support the biological systems that determine how well the body withstands aging and environmental stress. Daily consistency over extreme diets is one of the most scientifically grounded principles for long-term health and longevity. The human body thrives on stability and rhythmic patterns. While extreme diets may promise rapid weight loss or dramatic transformation, they often create metabolic stress, nutrient imbalances, and unsustainable habits. Consistency, on the other hand, supports gradual adaptation, balanced hormone regulation, and lasting physiological benefits. Extreme dietary approaches frequently rely on severe calorie restriction, elimination of entire food groups, or rigid rules that are difficult to maintain. In the short term, these strategies may produce visible changes, largely due to water loss, glycogen depletion, or temporary metabolic shifts. However, drastic restriction can signal scarcity to the body, slowing metabolic rate, and increasing stress hormones such as cortisol. Over time, this can lead to rebound weight gain, fatigue, mood instability, and disrupted relationship with food. In contrast, daily consistency reinforces metabolic efficiency. Eating balanced meals at regular intervals helps regulate blood sugar and insulin levels, preventing spikes and crashes that strain the endocrine system. Including a steady intake of fiber, protein, and healthy fats supports satiety and reduces cravings. When the body receives predictable nourishment, it does not need to activate emergency survival responses. Consistency also influences the microbiome and inflammatory pathways. Sudden drastic changes in diet can disrupt gut bacteria, while steady, diverse plant intake encourages stable microbial ecosystems. Regular consumption of nutrient-dense foods allows antioxidants and phytonutrients to accumulate their protective effects gradually. These compounds work cumulatively, reducing oxidative stress and supporting cellular repair over years rather than days. Behaviorally, sustainable habits are built through repetition. Small, manageable dietary improvements practiced daily become automatic routines, reducing reliance on willpower. A consistent approach allows flexibility without abandoning structure, preventing cycles of strict dieting followed by overindulgence. Longevity research repeatedly shows that populations with extended lifespans do not follow extreme regimens. Instead, they practice moderate, balanced eating patterns maintained for decades. The biological systems that govern aging respond best to steady signals of nourishment, movement, rest, and balance, rather than periodic shocks of deprivation or excess. Longevity habits beyond food, sleep, movement, and stress balance play a foundational role in determining how the body ages, because nutrition alone cannot override chronic physiological strain. These lifestyle factors directly regulate hormones, immune function, metabolism, and cellular repair mechanisms that influence lifespan and health span. Sleep is one of the most powerful biological recovery tools. During deep sleep, the body releases growth hormone, repairs damaged tissues, consolidates memory, and clears metabolic waste from the brain through the lymphatic system. Inadequate or poor quality sleep increases cortisol levels, disrupts insulin sensitivity, and elevates inflammatory markers. Over time, chronic sleep deprivation is associated with cardiovascular disease, obesity, weakened immunity, and accelerated cognitive decline. Consistent sleep patterns help regulate circadian rhythms, which influence nearly every organ system, including digestion, hormone secretion, and gene expression. Regular physical movement complements nutritional strategies by stimulating circulation, improving insulin sensitivity, and enhancing mitochondrial function. Exercise encourages the growth of new mitochondria, the energy-producing structures within cells, which tend to decline with age. It also supports healthy angiogenesis, strengthens muscles and bones, and improves balance, reducing the risk of falls in later life. Even moderate activities such as brisk walking, resistance training, or yoga activate anti-inflammatory pathways and promote metabolic efficiency. Movement also stimulates the release of myokines, signaling molecules from muscles that communicate with the brain and immune system to regulate overall health. Stress balance is equally critical. Acute stress responses are natural and protective, but chronic psychological stress keeps the body in a prolonged fight-or-flight state. Elevated cortisol over extended periods suppresses immune function, impairs digestion, raises blood pressure, and accelerates telomere shortening. Techniques such as mindfulness meditation, deep breathing, social connection, time in nature, and meaningful engagement in activities can lower stress hormone levels and support parasympathetic nervous system activation, the state associated with rest and repair. These habits interact synergistically. Quality sleep improves exercise performance and emotional regulation. Regular movement enhances sleep quality and stress resilience. Effective stress management stabilizes hormonal balance and reduces inflammatory load. When combined with nutrient-dense eating patterns, these foundational practices create an internal environment that supports cellular repair, metabolic balance, cognitive clarity, and sustained vitality across decades. In conclusion, living to 100 and beyond is not about chasing a miracle pill, a secret supplement, or a single magical ingredient. It is about understanding how the body is designed to heal, defend, and regenerate itself when given the right conditions. The science of longevity shows us that food is information. Every bite sends signals to our cells, influencing inflammation, blood vessel health, immune strength, metabolism, and even gene expression. When we choose whole, plant-rich, nutrient-dense foods filled with natural bioactive compounds, we activate the body's built-in defense systems rather than overwhelming them. We learned that protecting blood vessels supports oxygen delivery to every organ. We explored how the immune system can be strengthened naturally through consistent nourishment. We saw how the microbiome acts as a hidden partner in health, transforming plant compounds into powerful protectors. We understood that daily consistency matters more than extreme diets, and that longevity is built meal by meal, day by day, not through short bursts of restriction. Beyond food, we recognize that deep sleep restores the brain and hormones, movement energizes mitochondria and circulation, and stress balance protects our cells from silent damage. A 96-year-old Nobel Prize winner thriving with clarity and vitality is not an accident. It is the result of small, repeated choices that protect the body's natural systems over decades. Longevity is not about adding years filled with illness. It is about adding life to years. When you nourish your body with intention, move regularly, sleep deeply, and cultivate calm, you create an internal environment where health can flourish. May you take this knowledge and apply it gently but consistently in your daily life. May your meals become medicine, your habits become strength, and your years ahead be filled with energy, clarity, and purpose. Good luck on your journey toward vibrant longevity, and thank you for your time, your attention, and your commitment to living well.